And you're very concerned it's more that they're concerned about the hummingbirds, not me. Hi everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California, and I'm going to do one question right now. It's in the middle of the night, it's quiet. It's just me with my tablet going over some questions. I've had a couple of these come through, so I figured it was good to touch on hummingbirds, which might be very important to some of you because you seem to be so concerned. Quite a few have come in. When I say quite a few, maybe a dozen, half dozen, and you're very concerned if I die. Some people seem concerned. Some people, well, it's more that they're concerned about the hummingbirds, not me. And what happens when she dies? And what if she dies? Well, all those birds are going to die. Somebody said 10,000 birds are going to die. I went through these, and let me tell you one thing right now. Let's get this over with so we don't have to keep going over this issue again and again. Yes, I feed thousands of hummingbirds here out the window, not in the middle of the night, okay? But I do feed thousands of hummingbirds. And yes, a lot of them were born and raised here, and a lot of them do migrate out, go up north, during the spring, and then they go back, and some stay here and live here throughout the year, and some go further down south. So the thing is, they're very smart birds. What they're doing is they have found a place where they feel happy, they have shelter, they have water, and they have food. They feel secure. There's plenty of trees, and there's plenty of flowers. I mean, even if they're not getting that many out of my yard, where there's a lot of citrus trees up here, and they get a lot of nectar out of citrus trees, and then there's flowers that they can go to. They can go miles out and come back. Some of them may only feed here in the morning, and may not come back till evening to get that last little drink before they go to sleep, if they have not found enough food. Let me tell you something, they move around. We're in a heat wave right now, and we've been over 100 degrees. They're gonna be over 100 tomorrow. I thought this would be a good time to do it in the middle of the night. Everybody's sleeping, it's cool, I've got fans on, it's just you and me. When it gets really hot here, and it becomes that hot, over 100 degrees, I have noticed a major drop in food and birds. In the morning I may get up and the feeders may be full early in the morning, but then they disappear. I don't see them. Sometimes I don't see them for days. They absolutely won't come back and feed. When I say them, I don't mean all of them. A lot of them do stay here, but a lot of them know, they're very smart, that there's a heat wave going on, and they'll go to higher ground, they'll go to the beach, they'll find cooler areas. It may not be their favorite area, but they will find cooler areas. And that's what they do. So if something happened and they came back here and there was no food here for whatever reason, they would hang around somewhat and keep checking, because this is a favorite place. I've got feeders in other parts of the garden that they don't feed out of. They like this window. They found security here, and it's just the habits that they grew into. Kind of like you going to a restaurant and having that favorite place you want to sit, in the restaurant, your favorite table. Well, they have a favorite place too. But if your table was taken and you were starving, or they took the table away, what would you do? Would you leave the restaurant? Maybe you would. I don't know. But the thing is, they would go and move on. They would probably, if it was winter, they would go south, and they would just go on their merry way, and they won't hang around. They can't hang around. They'll go find insects and flowers. They may check a few times, and then if they're in the area, they'll check. So that's the deal, is if you've got hummingbird feeders and you let them run dry, and then you refill them a week later and there's no more hummingbirds, that's because they found maybe a neighbor in your area. It could be 10 miles away. They found the feeder that's full, it's good, they're happy, there's shelter. So don't worry about that. Very few would probably pass on. Most of them would just disappear and go on their way and find a new home, because there's a lot of people that do put feeders out. There's a lot of other areas they can live. And that's what would happen to them. They would just disappear. Would they come back if, let's say, God forbid, I got sick and there was nobody here to put the feeders out, and then a month later I came back and put feeders out? It would probably be a slow build-up process again, because a lot of them would have found other places, and once they're secure and happy, they'd stay there. And then some of them, if they were flying around the area, would remember, because they're very smart. Even the babies that were born here are very smart. They would come back and check and see if their favorite feeders were around. Another question I've had is some people said they're going on vacation and they have hummingbirds. What do they do? And they cannot get anybody to do the feeders. If you're going away for, let's say, a week, go ahead and put your feeders out. And when they run dry, they run dry. At least they'll come by, they'll see the feeder, they'll touch it, nope, nothing in there, and they'll go on their way. The odds are when you get back, you wash everything up really good and put it right out, they should start to come back because the feeders are still there. So they're waiting to see if that flower is suddenly going to start giving them food again that they happen to like. So that would be my suggestion. Put the feeders out. Maybe if you have to take them in and you have to physically wash them because they don't finish them, then don't put that much. Just put half of the amount of food you normally put in there and let it run dry on them. You don't want it to sit out there and be out there for a week and kind of get maybe moldy or something. Put half of it and then don't worry about it until you're back from vacation. Take it all down, clean it up really good, and hopefully they'll start to build their numbers back up if you've got a lot, because it's one of their favorite places. They're going to check it out. If you remove the feeders and go on vacation and they check all week and the feeders aren't there, eventually they may not come back because there's no feeders there anymore. Why would they come back to a spot that has no feeders hanging there? They're going to come back and check. You've probably seen them when you run out, they pick that little beak in there, nothing's there, and they zip off. Well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to come through here. They move so far in a day. They're going to come through, check it, and then once you're back, it should be good. So I hope I've answered some of your questions and given you a little peace that everything will be okay no matter what. And I hope to eat healthy in the garden and stay as healthy as I possibly can. And I'm hoping you guys are doing a garden too, because I know a lot of you come for hummingbirds, but a lot of you said you're starting to grow. And you know what? A little goes a long way. So even just planting a little tiny bit, parsley, mint, grow some mint. You can't grow it really good in the winter, but grow something like that. And just give yourself a little bit of vitamins, just like the hummingbirds need. They need all kinds of good food. Well, so do you. So with that, have a wonderful, wonderful day. I think I better get to bed. And don't forget to eat what you grow, and I'll get back to the questions later. Bye-bye.